A delivery sailed in from the right flank, precisely the type of service that once transformed Cristiano Ronaldo into a mythical figure. The ascent, the suspended animation, the bullet header before any goalkeeper could react. It drifted perfectly toward the far post where he was positioned, and Cristiano Ronaldo remained earthbound. No mistimed leap, no physical battle lost. He simply didn't elevate. A defender from Congo rose above him and cleared it like a routine training exercise, because that's exactly what it had become. That single sequence, the absent spring, encapsulates everything about Portugal's World Cup opener. While football's other icons spent this tournament writing their legacies, Portugal attempted to compete against Democratic Republic of Congo with what amounted to 10 outfielders and a monument. Let's cut through the diplomatic commentary. Because the analysts are sidestepping the truth, the coach is in outright denial, and someone needs to speak plainly. The evening before Ronaldo stepped onto the pitch, his legendary adversary demonstrated precisely how an aging icon should evolve. Lionel Messi produced 3 goals against Algeria, matching Miroslav Klose's record of 16 World Cup strikes, twice Ronaldo's total. Kylian Mbappé notched 2 goals and became France's all-time leading marksman. Erling Haaland scored twice in his opening match. The stage seemed custom-built for Ronaldo's response. He could have become the first player ever to score in 6 separate World Cups. Instead, Portugal stumbled to a 1-1 stalemate against a Congo squad considered among the tournament's weakest, appearing in their first World Cup in 52 years. Ronaldo was virtually invisible. Consider the statistics, they're devastating. Portugal controlled possession at 75%. Dominant, right? And they managed only 1 shot on target for the entire match. João Neves' 6th-minute header gave them the early advantage. Congo, with merely a quarter of the ball, registered more total attempts, more attempts on frame, and generated a higher expected goals figure than one of the pre-tournament favorites. The player positioned as the focal point, the designated finisher, the entire system's justification, recorded 25 touches, fewer than any other Portugal outfielder who played the full 90 minutes, 3 shots, none on target. It marked the 6th World Cup appearance where he completed a match without a single attempt troubling the goalkeeper. Here's the most revealing detail. One observer captured it perfectly. Ronaldo wasn't performing poorly, he was performing not at all. There were no wild volleys sailing into the stands, no glaring misses, no highlight reel embarrassment. He existed as an absence, someone physically present but contributing as effectively as smoke drifting across the penalty area. For over an hour, the most prolific goal scorer in football history offered less to his team than the equipment manager. When opportunities finally arrived, both cutbacks from the touchline, he pushed them wide of the near post. Were they straightforward chances? Not entirely. But here's the distinction about the player Ronaldo once embodied. The previous version would have devoured those chances without hesitation. That player is gone. This substitute of a former great has now endured 10 consecutive major tournament matches, World Cups, and European Championships without finding the net. That represents more than 800 minutes. His last non-penalty strike at this level occurred in June 2021. That's no ordinary slump. That's an era terminating in full public view. Everyone recognizes this reality except the 2 individuals who require that awareness most urgently. The second missed opportunity proved more damning than the first. It revealed something deeper about the ego involved. Bruno Fernandes occupied a superior position directly behind him with a clearer look at goal, yet Ronaldo inserted himself into the passing lane to claim the chance himself. Thierry Henry, analyzing on Fox, delivered the blunt assessment. The team requires a goal, not your personal milestone. If Ronaldo simply moves into the 6-yard box, the defender follows him, creating a straightforward finish for Fernandes. But he craved the goal himself, so he destroyed Portugal's best opportunity to be the scorer. That moment encapsulates the entire Ronaldo dilemma in one sequence. The scoring drought has generated desperation. Desperation breeds selfishness. Selfishness undermines Portugal's chances. So why did he remain on the pitch for the entire 90 minutes? At this point, we must shift criticism away from the 41-year-old and direct it toward the individual in the technical area. Roberto Martinez did make changes. He withdrew Bernardo Silva at halftime. He replaced Pedro Neto after 70 minutes. When he finally introduced another striker, Gonzalo Ramos, the player sacrificed was not Ronaldo, it was midfielder Vitinha. Consider that choice carefully. Portugal required a goal, introduced a center forward, and removed a central midfielder while preserving the forward who had produced 0 attempts on target. During Euro 2024, Martinez substituted Ronaldo in precisely 1 of 5 matches. The pattern remains unmistakable. Every squad member faces accountability except the individual who most requires it. Chris Sutton stated it bluntly on BBC. It's an embarrassment. Martinez fears the decision to remove him. He functions not as the manager Ronaldo does. Observers have even begun labeling him Portugal's manager, and the comment carries more truth than humor. Martinez's post-match explanation revealed everything. It makes no sense, he claimed, to substitute the greatest goalscorer in football history during a match where goals are needed. And embedded within that statement lies the revealing word, the one that condemns the entire logic. History. Ronaldo stands as the greatest goalscorer in football history. History. Past tense. Martinez references a player who no longer exists and uses that phantom to justify selecting someone delivering nothing. Before anyone dismisses this as one unfortunate evening, examine the broader evidence. The statistics are ruthless. Over Portugal's last 4 major tournament matches, Ronaldo has occupied the pitch for 396 of 420 possible minutes. During those games, Portugal scored precisely 1 goal. When he starts, Portugal average 1.9 goals per match, a figure inflated by a 9-1 demolition of Armenia. When he doesn't start, that average rises to 2.8. The team performs measurably, demonstrably better without him. Watching that Congo performance, how could anyone conclude Portugal wouldn't have won without Ronaldo involved? Now consider the comparison that should trouble them because it's not truly about age. Messi is advanced in years as well, but Messi transformed his game. He dropped deeper, evolved into a playmaker, leveraging his intelligence and passing vision and spatial understanding, allowing faster teammates to advance beyond him. Argentina constructed their approach around an aging icon who accepted a different role, and it functions effectively. Portugal built their system around an aging icon who refuses. Ronaldo still demands to operate as the central striker, the reference point, the target for crosses, except the physical capacity enabling that role departed years ago. Anything Messi delivered this week, Ronaldo couldn't replicate. He could only remain stationary, awaiting service that has lost meaning because he can no longer reach those deliveries. Let me offer fairness because this platform avoids shallow criticism without supporting evidence. It's not entirely Ronaldo's responsibility. If you're indulged continuously, selected relentlessly, serenaded by capacity crowds holding banners declaring your greatness, you'd likely believe you still possess it as well. Letting go becomes challenging, particularly with 1,000 career goals approaching and your historic rival still achieving. There exists even a scenario where he contributes as a late-game emergency option, similar to Ancelotti's usage of certain veterans, or as a decoy attracting defenders through clever positioning. However, all those applications require one condition: Ronaldo beginning on the bench, not anchoring the front line for the complete match. The problem was never Ronaldo being in the squad. The problem was Ronaldo starting, staying, and suffocating a team good enough to win everything. The cruelest aspect of all, Ronaldo arguably shouldn't have participated. He was initially suspended for this fixture following a red card against Ireland, yet somehow received a reduced suspension and walked onto the pitch anyway. More than a few observers pointed toward FIFA and the host nation's desire to keep high-profile faces prominent. One outlet's player evaluation simply read, Infantino shouldn't have interfered. Consider that reality. Had FIFA simply implemented its own regulations, Portugal would have been compelled to function without him. Compelled to discover another striker, different formation, alternative approach, and they might have secured victory. The preferential treatment designed to protect Ronaldo ultimately sabotaged his own team. Here's where Portugal genuinely stands. They possess one of the tournament's deepest rosters. Vitinha, Bruno, Bernardo, speed along the flanks, Leão and Cancelo. For the third consecutive major tournament, they risk squandering their potential. Not because they lack quality, but because a manager lacks the conviction to execute the decision everyone watching already recognizes as necessary. 10 men and a monument. They're sacrificing another World Cup on the altar of a single man's pride. The monument won't score. It can't anymore. The only genuine question remaining is whether anyone within Portugal's setup possesses the courage to finally relocate it. So, what's your perspective? Has Portugal's time arrived to bench Ronaldo? Or do you still believe he can produce one final remarkable moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you agree, and subscribe to the Tactical Club to catch every World Cup development as it unfolds.